Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you have fun with it. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut a scrub. It's a top and trouser scrub. I'm using 3 yards of this fabric to cut it out. So the first thing I'll be cutting here is the trouser. Then I'm going to cut out the upper part next. So the trouser I'm cutting is going to be in two places. I'm going to cut the front first. I'm going to use the front to cut the back. So the first folding is going to be into 2. So now this is after folding it into 2, as you can see. The next thing is to take the length of the trouser. The length of the trouser is going to be 40 inches. So I'll be adding 2 inches of band to it to make it 42 inches. So this is going to be 40 inches. So by adding 2 inches of band to it to make it 42. So by the time I fold it at this down part, it's going to end up it will end up to that same 40 inches. So this is 40 inches here. So for the band measurement is 36 inches. The band measurement is 36 inches. Then I'm going to put an elastic over at the 2 sides. Then I'm going to make use of zip also at the front. So I'll be making use of 40 inches here. So this is where the 40 is. So that's 10 in 4 places. It's going to give us the 40 inches. Then I'm going to connect my line together. So after that, I'm going to take the hip point. The hip point of I'll be taking the 2 inches band up to take the hip point. Ignore this line. So the hip point is going to be 9 inches for the hip point. So the hip measurement here. So this is the hip point. Since I've known my hip point, then I'm going to take my flap before taking the hip measurement. Taking the 2 inches up, then to take the flap. The flap is going to be 11. This is 11 inches. 11 inches. Yes. So the hip measurement is going to be 40 inches. 40 inches is here. So because of the same allowance, that's why I'm just taking it at the center here. 40 inches. Then with the same allowance of 1 inch at the front, I can decide to make a perfect measurement here. So by the time you are cutting for the back, you are going to add your allowance to it, the same allowance to it. So this is 40 inches of hip measurement, then 1 inch of sewing allowance. Then after that, I'm going to connect it to this area. So what I took here was 40 inches. I'm going to put an elastic over at the band. That's why I'm making use of 10 inches. The actual measurement is 38 inches. So I'm supposed to make use of 9.5 inches. So the allowance is there already. So then this, I'm going to connect my line up. So after connecting my line up, you can come up to, from the center, you can come up to 1.5 inches. This is where the 1.5 inches. Then from here, you're going to make a cuff line to this area. You can see. So this is how it's going to be. I'm going to slant it to make a sketch from this flap to this area, but it has a measurement. The tightness of this area is the hip measurement. When you come down a little bit, that's going to be the roundness of the hip measurement. So it's going to be 25 inches. So it's going to be 25 inches there by 2. This area now is going to be 12.5 inches. So that means when you come down from the flap a little bit, you have to make use of 12.5 inches. So this is 12.5 inches. So ignore this line. This is the line we're going to cut out. You're going to come down a little bit to this area, then you take 23 inches. So 23 inches divided by 2 is going to give us 11.5 inches. So this is where the 11.5 inches is here. Then so you have to make this slant. It's going to is a trouser. This area is bigger than this area, so this is 11.5 inches, then 11.2. So that is how we're going to reduce it to the knee, from here to the knee. Then it's not going to be too big. So after slanting it down this way, then we're going to cut it out. So this is after cutting it out. They're going to take one of these to cut out the back, and you must add, we're going to be adding 1 inch of seam allowance to it, so that by the time you sew it finished, it's going to be the exact measurement you take from your client. You can see this is after placing the front to the back, then adding 1 inch of seam allowance to it. You can see this is only bigger than the front, is only bigger than the back because of the seam allowance of 1 inch. You can see it. So the next thing here is just to add a band. Then I'm going to add an elastic over to it. Then if it's of a zip at the front. So by the time I through it, you're going to see the finishing. So to cut out the upper part, which is the top, I'm going to fold this into 4. This is into 2 first, then into 4. Since we are cutting both back and the front together. This is after folding it into 4 places. The first thing I'm going to start with is the top length, the upper part length, which is 28 inches. Then I'll be adding 2 inches to it to make it 30. The 2 inches is going for the seam allowance. It's going to be 30 inches. This is 30 inches. I'm going to make use of shoulder slant of 1 inch. So from here now, the back measurement is 8 inches. So with the shoulder slant of 1 inch. So after this, I'm going to take my armhole measurement of 8 inches. The half cut is going to be 15.5 inches. Then the length of the skirt, the length of the top is going to be 30 inches with the seam allowance, like I said earlier. So the bust measurement is 40 inches. Then I'll be adding 2 inches of seam allowance to it. The waist measurement is 35 inches. 35 inches, and I'll make use of 36. So I'll make use of 9 inches. The seam allowance of 2 inches. The waist measurement is 36 inches. Then with the seam allowance, that's 9 inches in 4 places, with the seam allowance of 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect my lines together. So after sketching it out this way, the next thing is to cut it out. Is not the body. The next thing is to cut out the neckline. The wideness of the neck here is going to be 3 inches. The wideness of the neck. Then the deepness of the neck at the back is going to be 2 inches. 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect my lines together. Like this. Then I'm going to open it this way to cut out the front neck. The front neck is like, it's going to be like an overlap neck. So I'll be coming down to 7 inches. 7 inches. This 7 inches here, it depends on the tape that I want to add to it. So if you are making use of 1 inch, that means you're going to make use of ½ inch here. By the time you open it, it's going to give you 1 inch. But if you're making use of 2 inches of taping taping, you're going to make use of 1 inch. By the time you open it, it's going to give you 2 inches. So let me make use of 1 inch here. Then I'll be using ½ inch here. So by the time I cut it out, is going to give me 1 inch. So like this. Then to the neckline, I'm slanting it up to the neckline. Like this. Then I'm going to cut it out. This is now the neckline. how the shape is going to be at initial. So by the time you add that taping to it, I'm going to show you how to connect this to this side, how to connect the taping to this area. So you can make use of any pocket of your choice. You can make it of a tiny pocket which you can put biro, and you can put biro to it, and you can make it of a bigger pocket. It's going on how you want to design your scrub with pocket. So by the time I done with the sewing, I'm going to show you the finishing. So the next thing I mean here is the sleeve. So to cut out the sleeve, this is what I'm using. I'm folding it into 4, you can see. So what's doing here is to take the length of the sleeve. So the sleeve length is going to be 13 inches with the seam allowance. So this is 13 inches. Then this is my 13 inches here. 13 inches from here to here. It's 13 inches. So the next thing to cut out is to sketch out the armhole shape. You can see the way I sketch mine. Then the next thing to take is the wideness of the sleeve. The wideness of the sleeve here is going to be 16 inches with a seam allowance of 1 inch. So when you come down a little bit, this area I'm making use of 14 inches with a seam allowance of 1 inch. Then this area I'm making use of 13 inches with a seam allowance of 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect my lines together. Then I'm going to cut it out. So now this is the sleeve that we're going to add to the upper part to make it a complete top. So by the time I join everything finish, I'm going to show you the finishing. Welcome back. Here is the finished work so far. This is the scrub that I'm talking about. This is the neckline. This particular neckline, I've done it on a previous tutorial. I'm going to add the link under the description of this particular video you're watching. This is the area where you're going to put your pen. You can see it, and this is the 2 pockets at the front. We have different style of scrubs. Then this is the first style we did here. I'll be making different styles, so please, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to it. And for those who have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Always see you in my next tutorial. Bye.